Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pole Project. This is Ayelet as usual, and today I'm here with a very special guest.
Hi.
This is Ronnie, and she has been my teacher for the past 3 years or so. And today we're going to talk about pole injuries and recoveries and how to avoid them. By the way, we are in Ronnie's house with two of the cats, so if you can hear any cats in the background, that is why. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been pole dancing and teaching?
Hi. I started pole dancing at 2013.
So, 7 years.
Yeah. It's been 7 years. Wow. And actually, a friend dragged me into class 7 years ago. At first, I thought like I couldn't do it. It was too hard for me. But I came back and I just loved it since then. I'm pole dancing.
So, you started pole dancing in 2013. Have you been doing anything physical, any kind of sports other than that before?
When I was young, I did a little bit of gymnastic, but I wasn't really good at that. And afterwards, just, practicing in the gym and nothing really serious.
So, you started pole dancing, and then when did you become a teacher? How long after that?
I became a teacher a year after I was pole dancing. I was dancing at Alisa Pleskova studio. And after a year, she offered me to do her instructor course. And it sounds really good.
So, you were like, why not?
Yeah, why not? I thought I should try. And I really, really loved it. So I had to quit my job. I was working in a vet clinic for a very long time. I liked that job, but after a few years, I felt very, very exhausted and I wasn't really happy with that job. And when I started teaching, I felt like, wow, it's the best thing. It's the best job.
So, you were like definitely happier.
Yeah, I was definitely happy teaching and, meeting new people and helping my student and really do what I love.
So tell me a little bit about what we are talking about today. We are talking about pole injuries. So you told me that you had a few. So tell me about them.
Actually, I had a really big injury about 4 years ago. I fell from a pole. I was alone in the studio and I fell from Aisha elbow grip. I fell straight on my face.
You had no safety mat or anything?
I was using a mat, but apparently it didn't help. I had a really bad injury in my neck, in my back, and I'm still dealing with it. I have a good physiotherapist.
So you had to completely stop doing pole for a while?
Yeah, I couldn't practice for 2 months. So I had a really bad injury in my neck, in my back, and I actually broke my nose.
So did you have to do like a surgery or you let it heal?
I had to do surgery, but I had to wait like a year before I do the surgery. I had to. The doctor told me that I need to recover before going into surgery. Ever since, I'm really, really traumatized from Aisha elbow grip. Like I can teach it, but if I have to do it, I always have to make sure that people like around me, keep me safe. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So like a full year after that, you were still affected by that fall. So you're not doing that trick too much now.
No, I'm still affected by that fall. I still have pain in my back, in my neck, but it's better. It's getting better. Sometimes I feel it. But like I said, I have a really good physiotherapist. So every time I need him, he helps me.
So that is a good thing to have as a pole dancer, a good physiotherapist.
Yeah, it's important.
Did that injury affect you mentally? Did it make you feel any less anything or at all?
Actually, after the accident, I thought that I couldn't pole dance again because I was afraid to do anything with my head upside down. I always felt like I'm gonna fall, and I never felt safe. I was thinking like I couldn't do it anymore. And I have good friends. They always support me, and because of them, I'm still here, and I'm still pole dancing.
So that brings me to my next question, which is what did you learn from those injuries? So we have the first tip, which is have a good physiotherapist, and we have good friends that support you through the tough times where you sit at home and you can't go to the studio. Which other tips and advice do you have for students to avoid these kinds of injuries and how to recover if you do injure yourself?
First of all, if you're doing a new trick or really, really extreme trick, make sure you're not alone in the studio.
So you don't want to feel tired. You want to do it fresh and with strength.
Actually, I was very tired when I did that trick, and it was a trick that I used to do. I felt already really, really safe in that trick. But at the time, I was really, really tired. I was a flight attendant. I came back from flight. I didn't get much sleep.
So getting much sleep, also a trick, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely put a safety mat.
Safety mat, it's always good. It's always good, but it didn't help me. I recommend really, really not to do tricks. Definitely not extreme tricks when you're tired. So I think it's the most important thing. And make sure you're not alone in the studio. Oh, my cat's eating all the...
Yeah, the cats are here just like munching on things, and maybe you heard them the entire time. We don't know. We will find out later. You might have heard them just like munching on snacks and stuff. They found the snack box. Hold on. So you also mentioned having friends nearby that support you mentally is very important. But how about having a friend watch over you if you're doing a trick that you're not sure of, or you're tired and you think you might need help, or just in case having someone there? How about that?
I think it's very important to have a friend or instructor, or a friend that is instructor.
The best kind of friend.
Yeah. If you do a new trick or a very extreme trick, I think it's the most important thing, even more than the math, because they know how to keep you safe. They know what could happen if you fall. They have the knowledge and the strength to hold you if you really lose control. So I think it's always nice to get help from a friend.
And also, while you're in the air, I think it feels much safer if you have someone there that is like ready to hold you.
Yeah, even mentally. Sometimes I do tricks that I can do by myself, but I think mentally it's very, very important that someone will be there for you.
And how about recovery tips? Do you have anything on that?
I told you first I was thinking about quitting because of the accident, but over the years I never was really strong. Flexibility was my strength, but I'm always working hard on my strength. I want to do everything in pole, like do all the deadlift and all the very hard tricks. But over the years, I realized that I just can just be myself and do whatever I can do, and just take it slowly and be happy with what I am now, and eventually it will come. So I think the very best advice that I can give to people who are pole dancing or beginners or even like people who had accident, take it slowly. Don't try to rush anything. Listen to your body when it gives sign. When you feel pain, just stop. You get there eventually. You can prevent injuries, and eventually injuries make you stop. Like,
So basically, your main advice is to not try to do anything that you're not ready for yet, and it is best to build your strength and your tricks Slowly but safely, because once you injure yourself, then you prevent yourself from working out much longer than it would have taken you to do that trick slowly but safely.
Yeah, I think definitely yes. And also my physiotherapist told me that if I will practice easy and not rush anywhere, maybe not compete it, my body will keep going and I can do it for a long time. I really really enjoy performing, but I think I will stop now with competition. Not that I really really love that. I just do it just to prove myself something.
So you did a few competitions, and how did that work with your injury?
Actually, mentally it wasn't good for me.
Wow, why? Why is that?
I'm not really competitive person. I never was. So I did it only to prove myself something that I don't think it's really represent me. I did a few competition, but I think I enjoy it only after it's over because I felt a relief. But before that, I was very nervous and I had a lot of injuries and I was painful and tired. When I decided that I'm stopping with a competition, I felt really really good.
Yes, I think what you're saying is like the part you actually enjoyed was being on stage, but all the stress and the pressure of succeeding and winning is not the part that you like at all.
No, yes, exactly. I love to perform, I love being on the stage, I love hearing the audience, but I don't like the part when they judge you and they tell you, okay, you are number 7 or number 4 or whatever. I don't think it's really represent you.
So when we talk about recovery, you said that your physiotherapist told you to take it easy, but you also said that you sat at home for 2 months and you didn't do any pole dancing, any sports at all.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything for 2 months, even more. I felt like I was missing something. I thought about quitting, but it was a crazy idea for me to quit after a long time that I invested myself in pole dancing. So I thought, everyone around me always wanted to compete, and every year, all my friends were really, really excited about competitions. I competed only because everyone else wanted to. I realized that it's not for me, and I think that if you feel that it's not for you, just don't do it. You can perform, you can dance, you can practice.
You can do the art in another way.
Yeah, you can express yourself in another way. You don't have to compete.
And definitely, you really need to listen to your doctor when he says you need to stay at home for 2 months.
Yeah.
And when you came back, was it still painful for you to do pole dancing? How did you approach that?
It was painful. It was hard. It's like I was starting all over. I felt really, really weak and I lost a lot of strength. But I took it slowly and now I feel that I'm in the best shape that I ever was. Even though I can do deadlift, it doesn't mean I can do something else. And I overcompensate with different tricks. Like I'm very good at flexibility tricks. I think I'm really happy with myself right now. I really, really hope that I can do it for a long time.
I definitely think that in pole dancing, if you do it like a marathon and you give all your strength, then you have like a burnout and you can't keep doing, like, you can't keep going full-time pole dancing for a long time because it's like, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Like, you have to keep your strength for a long period of time if you want to progress.
Yeah, there will always be people that are better than you, stronger than you, flexibility than you. You just have to accept yourself. And I know friends that do a lot of competition. Now they can't even practice because they're very injured. So I don't want to be there.
Yeah, so it's way more important to do it as something you love and you enjoy it and you don't want to compete because everyone else is doing it and eventually you hurt yourself for the long run and then you're not happy and you're not competing and you're also not dancing and having fun. So what did we get from that? So you guys, by the way, we talked about flexibility tricks. Ronnie is like a complete fairy, so I will link her Instagram below, and you are more than welcome to follow her and see how crazy she is on the pole. She is so graceful and like a cute little fairy dancing between the flowers. It's so cute. It is so impressive, and you just got to see it. So I will put a link to her Instagram page, and I will tag her on the social media posts that I will bring out with this episode. I will remind you again that we are available on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Podbean, and Spotify. Our Instagram is the Pole Project Podcast, and we have a Facebook page as well. So follow along over there. I post 4 pictures a week, which is getting really hard. So I hope I can keep this up. If you follow, then I will have a reason to keep this up. I will thank Ronnie for her time.
Thank you.
That she gave me this evening to come here with her cats on the couch, on the sofa.
Cheap and eek. I think they like you.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear them throughout the episode. I hope not too much though. Munching on cat snacks. We will say thank you for listening.
Thank you for having me.
I am so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm hoping we could do it again sometime. And I will tell you guys thank you for listening so far. I will see you again next week. And until then, happy pole dancing.